Now, let me go over this quickly with you. If you do it in your computer at home, sometimes your computer at home may not have this in the when you click on the tools. Okay, this has to be added in. Okay, and so if you do it at home using your home computer, you might have to do a little bit a few more click. You have to perform a little bit of the additional step in your computer in order for your computer to show you this data analysis icon. However, if you go to the Baruch computer in the library, I think all of them has this. Okay? So let's see if this one has it. If it doesn't have it, then we have to perform a few additional steps. But most of the computer in Baruch has this thing, and you are just going to follow it step by step. So let me see. So my computer is up, and let me see. So now, so I'm going to open Excel. I found the icon down here. Okay, so this is your familiar. This is your pretty familiar Excel sheet. Now, before we do anything, why don't we check whether I have all the symbol I need? Okay, so I need.
Sorry, my professor.
Let me follow my step by step.
I'll see that. It was bad.
I need to go to Tools. By the way, I don't even see Tools. So let me solve by try and error.
And that girl's head's blocking back as well. What's up?
It does have it, right? So every computer is a little bit different. All right, so there's no two. According to my handout, to my recipe, you are supposed to click on tool. But here you click on data, and there's the data analysis. Now, so once we discover that, why don't we enter the number now?
Post it on YouTube.
So what I like to do is to enter the x and the y values as two columns.
Sounds for every class. Fuck it, I'll just submit this shit.
So remember last time we generated a sample. Okay, so remember this sample.
Now do 22.
Alright, so I'm just going to enter the same two columns of number. Okay, the one that you are quite familiar with by now. So I'm now going to enter it. So here are the x values.
Dude, you could have just fucked this.
Okay, so for example, in the term project, if I give you 20 pairs of x and y, so you just have to enter those 20 pairs of numbers. And then afterward, you click a few click and then you calculate the big value. Okay, so it's that simple. You know, it will take you like 5 minutes to do it. You know, in terms of the Excel part. Okay, so next I enter the y values. so I'm good. So I just entered all my number, the x and the y value. And following my recipe, I need to ask Excel to perform data analysis. So I click on the data. Right? I guess this is the two bars, and then I click on data. And next I click on something called data analysis.
Better than that. Right?
Still doesn't show up.
I didn't expect that.
Okay, I click on it. See what happens. Okay, when I click on it, then a new screen open up, and it gives you all kind of statistical formula, procedure. Okay, you don't need to pay any attention to them. So, for example, the first item here is something called doesn't like it.
And you have to deal with the opening of the top of the
What do I do now?
you cross,
I don't like it. So, okay, so I cannot make it bigger now. So I can cancel it. I can make it bigger.
This one? Yeah, try it.
It's still small. It's bigger, but okay. So for example, the first I don't know whether you can read this. The first line, for example, say ANOVA, ANOVA. ANOVA stands for analysis of variance.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, these are just some statistical stuff. That belong to some other course in statistics that we don't need to worry about. And then correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics, all kind of stuff, right? You don't
Number
care.
23.
So you don't need. Here, the interesting thing is something called the random number generation. All right. So remember, U1, U2 are random variables. Remember, we make up those numbers like 0.2 minus 0.2. But you can actually ask Excel to generate the number for you. Okay, so Excel will perform something like acting as if there's some random variable with a probability distribution, and it will randomly draw some number. And now finally, we locate the word regression. Remember, regression is the name that we call what we did. All right, when we compute B2 hat and B1 hat, we call it regression. So that's the one we need to choose. Okay, we chose this one, and then now following your advice, I said okay. So now it opened up another screen. Now here you can see you enter the two columns of number in column A and column B. Excel has no way to understand which column you want to be your Y and which column you want to be your X. All right? Just like I say, we want to use the phrase regress Y on X. All right? So you need to tell Excel which column is my Y and which column is my X. All right? Now remember, this is really my Y, so I'm going to choose it. Okay, so B1 to B4, and I'm done. And this is really my X, okay, so I chose it, and I'm done. Okay, I do it. Now, once again, if I look at this smaller screen, don't need to pay any attention to any other stuff. Here, for example, there's a box. If you check that, they will give you some labels, but the Excel already give you some labels, all right? And if you check this box, they say constant is 0. Constant refer to B1. All right, so if you check this box, you are going to tell Excel that I know B1 to be 0, which you don't really know, right? So you normally leave it alone, don't check this box. Okay? Sometimes, for example, you have some extra information and for some reason you know B1 to be 0, then you check this box. But normally you don't do it. This box is about something called confidence level, something that we haven't done before, up to this point, so ignore it. And pretty much that's about it, right? And if I go down here, you tell me how to do output it, don't worry about this. Finally, when we go down to this, when we go down here, it says something about, if you look, I don't know whether you can read this word. This word is the word residuals. Right? And residuals has to do with the estimation of, remember there's also, remember we talked about you have to estimate B1, you have to estimate B2, and one of the loose ends is the term U. All right, remember we say, okay, there are